You're listening to the Claret and Big Blue podcast on the Pass the Gravy podcast network.
Damn, Daniel.
And here we go.
And we are live. We'll do it live. Welcome everyone to Claret and Big Blue. Probably did and the New York Giants. That's right, football and football. All for everyone stays. I'm Mike Fish, and I am joined, as always, by the esteemed gentleman to my left. It's Mr. Alex Middleton. Alex, how you doing, buddy?
What's going on, buddy? Good to be back. It's been a minute. I missed you, man.
Oh, that GIF. Dude,
the Eli and Odell dirty dances. Yeah, it was good to be back. I was texting like, what time we going live? We getting ready to do this. I forgot what time we went live. I didn't really. I think I had it down, but I was making sure.
It's always good to be fail to prepare to fail, as they say.
Exactly. That's what I.
But you've been a busy boy since we've been off the air. I see you've
lately now.
I still need to talk Giants, so I need to keep myself busy.
So I've been talking on the Giants Rush podcast on about every other Monday almost over on the NY Giants Rush podcast network. If you want to go check that out on YouTube, But yeah, that was we were just talking solely Giants. We don't talk Premier League, so that's where we talk the Premier League over here too. They wouldn't understand. They wouldn't get the Premier League,
Do you reckon there's any opportunity to lure them over to the Claret and Blue side?
We could try. We could try for sure.
I mean, just show them our epic numbers, and they'll know what they're missing.
Right. Yeah, I'll see what I can do. For sure.
Alexo in the live chat, welcome back. How was your summer? Hope it went well. I'm sure he's gonna thrill us with some fun facts throughout the show. Finally we're back. What a roller coaster! This
got a hell of a weekend coming up.
Hell of a weekend. Well, Giants preseason on Friday, West Ham season opener on Saturday.
It is weird how they just tie in together where it's like none of that. And then it's just like, and fucking preseason and go. Season starts, go. Back-to-back days.
But I like how the Premier League season starts and then but the NFL is only preseason. So it kind of teases me because if it was like full season, both going at the same time.
Oh, my heart couldn't take it.
Yeah. I need to warm back up into it. I need to ease back into it. Put a little lube on there. Just don't go nuts straight away. It's been a while. But yeah, where should we start? I mean, obviously the big news.
I'm using my my winners pen from West Ham's Europa Conference League. That's what I spent the big bucks on in the store. It doesn't say champions; it says winners.
That was so. I went back to when I went for my ill-fated trip that United Airlines didn't want me to fucking leave, but that's neither here nor there. But I went into the West Ham store in my local shopping mall, and I got a close look at the new. Have you purchased the new home kit yet for West Ham?
Not yet. I was like to wait till the third kit comes out. I like the bubbles on it.
I saw it up close, and I was like going in there ready to spend my money on something, and I saw it up close, and I was like, I'm not feeling it.
And
then
cool
they come out with
person?
that sweet. It's not cool in person. It's not. I don't like it. I'm not loving it. But then, really annoyingly, they released. Well, they haven't released it. It was pre-order, but they released that all white away kit, which looks pretty damn clean.
It's like the exact same one as Noble's last season, or 2 years before that. Yeah, it's the 1980 FA Cup final shirt, pretty much. They just instead of it being black, instead of the crest being black, it's white on white.
Yeah, but that's a problem with us not having that much history of success. It's like when they're trying to regurgitate successful seasons kits, they've only got a couple to lean on, so we just keep getting the same shit.
You know what we're gonna start getting like every 5 years is we're gonna get the like blood orange, white kits because remember we won the Conference League. The Conference League, gotta bring that back.
Well, I wasn't against it, so I mean, maybe if they
I thought it was gonna be
a different
awful.
color each time.
I thought it was going to be awful when they debuted it, but it grew on me very much so. And then like them winning the title and that, it was like pretty sick. So like,
I just wish they stuck with the orange shorts more because I thought the orange shorts merging into the shirt looked really cool. But then the white shorts kind of made it look.
Yeah. But they haven't released a third kit, and I want the third kit, and I don't know what the third kit's going to be.
I haven't even seen any rumors. Normally we get like leaked photos or mock-ups. I haven't seen any of that shit yet. So that's a Claret and Big Blue fit check. Giants, they'll be playing in
fashion.
Exactly the same stuff they've been playing in for the last 20 years. They should. I don't. Am I? Because I'm the new boy relatively. I've already really been into the Giants for like the last 10, 11 years. Is that sacred? Like
I mean, they've always kind of had similar jerseys. I mean, the white jerseys, they had some more red on it, and they had more blue on it than they do now. And now it's more just white and red than anything. But they used to have the gray pants, and now they go to the white pants more so than the gray pants. So that's cool. I don't know. I like the Giants jerseys. I think it would be cool if we used the script Giants, like the throwbacks more. I like the throwbacks we have because they were our actual jerseys. I think it's weird when teams just go with like, oh, this is our alternate jersey, and it doesn't have anything to do with like the team. Like I like the throwbacks. So like, yeah, we should wear the blue throwbacks and the white throwbacks each this season. I guess
that was the one like the blue, but it had like the red.
Yeah, and it's like a darker helmet because originally the helmet were a different color than the actual jersey.
That should be our home kit. Oh, jersey.
I wouldn't hate that. I do like the NY on the helmets though. The script Giants, like I always thought that was like very like high school looking. It's cool like 3 times a year. It's cool 3 times a year as a throwback because like throwback jerseys, not our regular ones.
That's a fit check. Other big news, I guess, from the big teams. Side, obviously. Finally, the Claret situation was finally cleared up. We got the 105 million, and then not much else happened for about 5 weeks. It was pretty. And then today, this is on me. I'm a bad fan. But they announced today that Nikola Vlasic had left, and there's a scene in Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one, where Star-Lord is in his ship and then a woman pops up as if they've been having relations in the ship. And he gets startled because he's like, I'll be honest, I forgot you was even here. Like that was how I was when they announced Vlasic was leaving. I was like, oh, I forgot he was still
because he's been bitching forever now. Him and Skamaka. I feel like Skamaka, it's like, just get the fuck out then, dude. Apparently he's been bitching the whole time. Vlasic said he didn't want to be West Ham, so he's Torino now, and then it's Atalanta is where Skamaka went. But yeah, West Ham just hasn't brought anybody in, and like it was just like we were rumored to literally every single possible midfielder that there could be, whether it be Alex Scott for, I can't remember. He's the championship team that he plays for, but whether it be Alex Scott was one of the guys I saw. Tyler Adams was they could push the release clause since he got relegated. Like there were so many other people that they've been talking about. James Ward-Prowse, McTominay, the two Man United guys. Like just they've been linked to everybody, and then it just nothing happens. And this Edson Alvarez, I saw before we started recording that like he is on his way to London to do a physical, but I still will not believe it until he's holding up the jersey because we've been linked to all of these people the entire time that Rice has not been on the team.
Yeah, the only good thing was that I saw a picture of him on a private jet with that fella Tim
Steichen.
Steichen.
The like brain behind the team apparently.
Oh, I mean, let's real quick. Let's talk about because obviously, the lack of transfers. Tim Steindten was brought in to be our director of football, and
Which
then
is like
they pretty much
GM, right?
ignored him. Well, I think he's just been brought in to help with recruitment and
Okay.
what's the word, scouting and things like that. But he's been brought in because he's had a lot of European experience all around Europe. And then they bring him in, and then they pretty much ignore him. David Moyes is like, no, I just want to buy English players from the Premier League. And whether that might be right or wrong, I can understand why Timmy Boy would be sitting there like, well, what the fuck did you bring me in for then? If you just ignore me,
right? And it is hard to argue with I hate it because we're back on we were so pro Moyes, and then forever we were just like, well, remember he did that before, and he brought in Suchek and Sufal, and he made it work, and he wanted to make sure he got the right guys and not just guys. And then we go to Europa League, and then we go to Conference League, and then last year we kind of sucked dick in the Premier League with the Conference League with their schedule. They were able to make it work, and we won that. And Moyes is gone if we don't win the Conference League, right?
Well, yeah,
he's probably gone.
Year of his contract now.
No, but he's not the manager right now. Currently, he would not be currently the manager of West Ham had we not won the Conference League, right?
Gotcha.
Probably. Do you not agree?
No, yeah, I think he'd have been out the door.
Because I feel like they wanted to sack him, and then it was like, well, this is literally the last ditch effort you have to save your job. Win us a fucking trophy, and you can stay or don't. And then I thought they brought in Steichen, and it kind of seemed like the owners were kind of like, hey, let him kind of run the ship. But I mean, and this is all hearsay because I don't have inside information at West Ham. Obviously, I'm not ex-West Ham employee, but it seemed like Moyes was just pushing back at all the changes they were trying to do. And it's like, dude, you have $105 million right now. You need to figure out how to spend this where we can get guys when we're going to Australia, or we're going to New Zealand, or wherever the fuck else we went. You need to have when we're in Germany or France, we need to have those guys with the first team kind of getting some reps in. So we're not I saw James Ward-Prowse, he's been rumored the whole time. Still won't believe it until it's done. I saw that we may be closer than we had been before to getting him, but that he's probably going to play this weekend for Southampton. That means that he's not going to play next week for us, obviously, because he's going to have to come. He's going to have to get fit. He's going to have to get in with the first team. That's a month that he's probably going to be just coming on as a sub then. That's 4 games. That's 4 games at least that you've now just wasted away on one of your signings when you're supposed to we could have just Arsenal seamlessly is just fitting Rice into their system right now. They've got him ready to go. We could have had the same thing with somebody that we got to replace Rice. And I mean, your dad's got to be stoked because Flynn Downs look like he's going to get some fucking PT. That guy is going to be playing like a mofo.
Got no other choice at the moment. But
your dad's got to be jacked about that.
But yeah, now we're in a situation we've got no choice now. No matter, even if we just ball out and sign 5-6 players, like you say, we're not going to be able to play any of them for at least, at best case scenario, maybe game 3, best case.
I mean, you'll get a couple subs in. I mean, the last guy we really brought in was Ings, where we kind of saw him come in a sub spot, and Ings really started. Did he start 2 games? I feel like Ings didn't really start much. He came in off the bench. Right? I guess
he got injured after his first game, right? I think.
Oh, you're right. You got in a conference
league
game,
as a sub, and then he got injured.
Fuck, you're right. And then it's him and Antonio right now, and then Mubama. I'm really stoked about Mubama. He's probably who I'm the most green on this year. Where just I didn't watch all of we had a couple of the games in Australia that were on YouTube, and I watched him back. But he had some really sick goals, and I watched the FA Cup final, the Youth FA Cup final when we won, and he and Keelan Casey, I think, and then is Coventry young enough, or was it not him? I don't know. We had 3 guys.
Coventry's been with our youth team for 10 years at this point.
But spoiler alert, I'm on year 8 with Pass the Gravy FC on FIFA. Nobody cares, but I do. But every time I play West Ham, Coventry he's the captain on West Ham. So 7-8 years from now, homie's still hanging right there. So if FIFA 23 has anything to say about it, Connor Coventry is the future. But I do feel like since I've been a West Ham fan, he has been around forever.
Only 23. Good lord.
That's the weirdest thing about like it's crazy to me that Messi's like he's not old, but like it just seems like Messi's 50 because
Yeah, and I think he's
Messi's
younger
been
than
playing
me.
since he was a 15-year-old. And like you just like soccer is so different than that. Where like Eli goes to the Giants in his rookie year, he's in his 20s. So like you don't just get that like, well, we saw him in the youth squad, and you get a couple games where you get to look at him, and like Devin Mubama has been on the team forever as a youth guy. We just got to see him in like FA Cup games and Carabao games. Like you're like, oh, that's that guy again. But now like we get to see him with the first team. I really don't know. I feel like Antonio's wanted out. It seemed like in the offseason. I don't think he's gonna go anywhere right now. I don't know why he would. I don't feel like we're gonna get a lot of value for Antonio. But
who's going to take him other than maybe a team lower down than us, or maybe in the championship again? I don't think
that was the rumor. But like we're playing European football, which is I don't understand why like guys are wanting out. Like why did Skamaka want out? Was it just because of Moyes? Like that's what it makes it seem troublesome, is that like there is this rift that it didn't seem like there was before, where we were like, we're not signing anybody. Well, at least the guys we do have are playing well. And now we just have zero depth. And also I saw that like we had Rice played 93% of all available minutes for the last like 5 seasons. So going to be a huge difference without him. And like, I feel like maybe, I don't know what like Moyes' whole system is like, just kind of play back and then hope we can get him on the counter and just really rely on our defense. And having Declan Rice there is a lot different than having Flynn Downs there and Edson Alvarez, I feel like. And I think we're going to probably have to change it up a little bit. I don't know if Moyes is going to be able to survive that.
Was that chair squeaking?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then rumors have it Cresswell's on the way out because he's upset about something.
He's not been at training all week.
I don't know what fuck now. Like that came out of nowhere. All of a sudden, he's like, mate, because what was it? Wolves came in for him, and then we rejected the bid. And
it was a low ball offer.
Really wanted to go to Wolves for some reason.
He's the longest tenured Hammer, right?
He's been there like this is. I think this would have been his 10th season, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what, because he was. I mean, other than obviously the Europa Conference League games, he was kind of like in and out because of the rotation. But he was pretty much starting every game for us. I don't see why what the allure would be.
Boys again, I don't know.
But that's
yeah, go to Wolves, who are again not European football.
Because according to Skamaka, I mean, obviously you can't take everything. You have to take everything with a pinch of salt, what they say in interviews. But he was like basically saying, "Hey, I pretty much." Injured, so I'm really looking forward to actually having a season where I'm fit. And then all of a sudden he was like, fuck this, I want to go. So it does, because you can't read into everything, but there's no smoke without fire. So there's definitely something going on,
and there's too much stuff that's happening for there to be nothing going on. Like you don't have 4 players kind of all of a sudden have issues. Like it's Antonio and Cresswell and Skamaka and Vlasic. You don't have them all of a sudden have issues. And then, like, I don't know. I feel like I've liked Declan Rice a lot less. Just he seems like a dick when he's wearing Arsenal stuff. He was kind of talking about how he felt boxed in at West Ham. And I was like, fuck you, dude.
Oh, and then when I was in England, there's a product called Muller Rice.
Rice, baby.
Or not. And he's like,
I saw the ads.
Dancing. And I'm like, oh, you know what? Actually, I'm glad he doesn't play for us anymore, because now I can be like, what a dick. What he looks like a right dick. Because if he was playing for West Ham, I'd have defended it. But I hope Muller Rice sells dips, and they're like, oh, we can't get this.
Don't buy Muller Rice stock. Do not.
But yeah, but things hopefully seem to be moving. Like I said, Edson Alvarez potentially, James Ward-Prowse seems to be moving in, and then the McTominay and Maguire.
I feel like that's not going to happen. Slowly. That's not going to happen. It seems like Man United is just going to say no.
For some reason, I think we'll get Maguire. I feel they're... But that was another weird thing. Like, because again, this is where aren't all of a sudden it was like, well, Maguire and McTominay are... I can't remember the exact word they used. But basically, that they don't want him anymore. They're not going to be in the team anymore. And then all of a sudden... they're like whacking huge price tags on us. Like, what? I thought you want to get rid of them. And now you just
because then they were like,
turned
well,
out
they're going
every-
to get to compete for their spot on the roster. And I was like, well, you just said that because you got a low ball offer, in your opinion. Fuck, I just like think how sick it would be. Like Man City wouldn't even think about this. They'd just be like 80 mil, 90 mil, just given to us. I'm not saying it'd be the right move, but like I'm just saying like
they bid 90 million for Rice. Didn't even want him. Just for
just
fun.
to fucking drive up the price, which is awesome for us.
Yeah, appreciate that. But then even that the youth player from Man City that we was gonna get, and then whatever that
just
lagged out, and then he fucked off somewhere else. I'm like, fuck's sake. It's just. But the only thing
I don't know what's going on.
other than the Europa Conference League, which went well last year, the league was shit. And that was coming off the back of a kind of exciting summer transfer. So the only thing I'm just holding slightly onto is that, hey, maybe good summer transfer window, bad season, bad summer transfer window.
It worked before. It worked before the Europa season. Premier League trade
but
deadline.
my problem was, when does the Premier League trade end? It ends at, I think it's
September.
Is it August 31st?
Like September 1st, it's over. But like at the end of August, last day of August usually is the end of the month.
It's closed at 11 p.m. British time on Friday, September the 1st. So I mean, yeah, there's still like 3 weeks to go, but
a couple weeks. But
like I say, anyone we're getting now, they're not going to play.
It's a month from now when we're going to see them. So like, I mean, we'll see them in regular action. They're not going to be just inserted into the starting lineup. But that's what I'm very concerned about. I feel like I'm trying to sell myself on the team like I kind of did last year. I think Luton is going to be very bad this year. Just because they just seem like they're not going to be bad. And what I saw last night when I was doing a little prep was that they only scored 31 goals last year. They scored 31 goals, and only they got one team since it's been the English Premier League has been not relegated when scoring 31 or less goals, and that was Huddersfield in 2017, 2018, and the following year they just shit the bed again and just didn't. They got relegated, and I think now they're bottom of the championship. They're favored to like maybe go down one more, but Huddersfield has kind of fallen off. So like Luton Town.
Pronounce it L-O-O.
Luton, but Luton is supposed to be last place, and then what was the Sheffield? I think was another one of the favorites to go back down. But usually 2 of the 3 go back down, don't they?
At least, yeah. That might be our saving grace again, where it's like, hey, at
there's
least
other people that are really bad. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's like, well, Luton seems like they're going to be last place, so it's 2 more teams that have to be bad. And if we can just figure out what those 2 teams are, assuming one of them is it's either Burnley or Sheffield. Like, I wish Norwich is there, because then Norwich is like, yeah, we'll just throw them in there. They're going to get relegated too. Like, that's my favorite part about Norwich being in the Premier League. Yes, they got promoted. Cool. They're going back down. See you guys in 2 more years.
Yeah. The only thing that's concerning me is this what's this? What's the word I'm trying to think of? It's the superstitious. Okay, there we go. Superstitious kind of thing. With me is because Luton, their ground's not ready to host TV games, so they can't host a home game. So their first home game, which was supposed to be against Burnley, is postponed. So they start on away at Brighton, away at Chelsea, and then their first official home game is against West Ham. Their first home game in the Premier League.
Yeah, we're gonna lose them. That'll be the Nottingham.
I mean, they're going to be trying every game, but still.
That was Nottingham Forest last year.
I never noticed how much Burnley uniforms look like West Ham. It's
they stole.
It is frustrating how many Claret and Blue teams there are,
and it's like nowhere else. Like the U.S., we don't even use that. We don't use Claret and Blue as a color. The Colorado Rapids ripped off the teams that do, but like outside of soccer, it's not a color palette that's really existent. It's usually maroon and white, which Claret is the same color as maroon.
It's a posh maroon. Posh way of saying maroon. Yeah. So I guess I was really like this first show. Oh, we're going to talk about all of the players that we've got in. Oh, we're going to be excited. And it looks like there's one Edson who's had his medical today, but still, it's like there's officially no new signings. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, like I was looking at it was your Premier League mega team by team review, and like it just had like key ins, key outs, and like West Ham was just A for key ins, and it was like key outs, Declan Rice, Skamaka, Vlasic. Yep, all those guys. Lanzini.
Oh, yeah, Lanzini technically gone released. Because no offense, unless he wanted money, but he'd gone to River Plate in Argentina, so maybe he just wanted to go home. Maybe
this is his. Yeah, they did a cool video about him. Like he posted it on his Instagram about like I had to translate it, but it was cool about like it showed him as like a little kid in their academy, and then his first like playing with them, and finally like when he got to their senior club, and now he's going back. So that was cool.
Did he mention us?
I think he already said like thank you to West Ham on his way out, but this was like his announcement at them at like that club.
So maybe he was one of the only ones that's leaving on a good note.
Yeah, it seems like it.
But yeah, maybe let's talk about conspiracy theories. Let's put our tinfoil hats on. Maybe because this is David Moyes' last season officially, he's under his current contract. Maybe they're like, well, if you're not going to listen, we brought Tim in because we want to sign some good players for the next guy, and you'll keep blocking them. So fuck it, we're just going to keep giving shitty offers for the ones you do want, and we'll just ride out this season
until you're gone. Yeah,
until you're gone, and then who knows what the fuck we're going to get in. Bobby's first fun fact to the season. Fun fact: last time a Premier League team that didn't sign anyone, they won the Premier League. I mean.
Tottenham hitting a couple of years ago, and they made the Champions League.
Oh, there you go.
They didn't win anything, but
all we need to do is have one more miserable season and win a European Cup, and then we'll be in Champions League next year.
Exactly.
And then we'll be able to get a really cool manager, and some more players will want to come to us because they'll be playing in Champions League. And Declan Rice will come crawling back because Arsenal will be.
We won't want him. Year. We won't want him. We'll say no thanks. Thanks, but no thanks.
We'll offer like 20 million for him.
Yeah, we just lowball the fuck out. They have to actually pay us to take him off their hands. It's gonna cost another 100 mil.
Speaking of that, who was it? Maguire. Because I again don't believe everything you read, but I was reading that Man United seem to be keen on Maguire fucking off, but obviously they want the right amount of money. Right. Maguire is the one who wants to stay and fight for his place, which is dumb because he's already borderline anyway, even with England. So I would have thought, let me go to a team that I can play every week and then get me back in the England team. But that Man United again might be willing to chip in a little bit for his wages because he's on apparently 190,000 a week, which I know for a fact David Sullivan won't pay that. I think the most he goes up to is 150. So
yeah.
I mean, that'd be nice if Man United pay one of our players' wages. That'd be nice. I'll take that.
Or just a percentage of it.
Yeah. What? Well, I guess look ahead. We've got Bournemouth. Which is always a fun game. Away at Bournemouth.
I don't feel like it's a loss. I don't feel like it's going to be a loss. I feel like it's a draw. This is like a 1-1 draw. It's going to be the most just like nothing game. We're going to be excited. Season starts, and then they're just going to be, oh, fuck, we don't really have a striker still. Also, we don't have any midfielders. We're going to get up a really stupid goal at some point. We might lose. We might lose. It's a loser draw. I don't see us winning this one.
I think that's going to, unless something crazy happens, I think that's going to be our big problem again this season is that I think we'll have a pretty deep, like, solid defense because at the back, centre back, we've got Bonner, Zuma.
That's what Moyes does.
And then we'll have a good, solid defensive midfield. So I think it's just kind of be one of those that we just desperately need to keep clean sheets, and then hopefully we get a goal and we can win a couple of games. Because we haven't really got, unless Mbamba.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Suddenly lights it up.
We do have a striker. He's going to be the best striker in the league. He's better than Haaland. I'd take Mubama over Haaland all day. I'm going to start firing up
first.
Dude, I need to start firing those off. Get the hot take machine going again.
But yeah, I mean, it's always hard to predict because, especially, I have no idea who.
Bournemouth is predicted to finish 18th in the league, according to ESPN. So going off of this one thing I just looked up, they're supposed to be bad too. So maybe they are the other team we're better than, and then we beat them.
What have they been doing in
David Mubama is going to score 3 goals. I'm changing my mind. We're back on it. They signed a guy from Alkmaar. They have a guy named Favre. They signed a Traore, who apparently there's like 5 Traores. I didn't know that. Are they all brothers? Doesn't seem like it was that popular of a name, but like after Adrian Traore, like now I feel like every other dude's name is Traore.
Oh, they signed Justin Kluivert. That's pretty cool.
It's a cool name.
He's the son of Patrick Kluivert, who was a very good football player. But he does have, on his, according to Wikipedia page, he does have a very creepy mustache. So that's going against him. Traore. But they do have Darren Randolph. Do you remember him?
Yeah. Wait, he's on Bournemouth? I thought he was on Leyton Orient.
No, apparently he's for Bournemouth.
Who would have thought?
Oh, they only just signed him. Interesting. Or maybe it was January, whatever. But yeah, fuck it. We'll go. We're gonna Mubamba hat trick.
Hat trick. Yeah, anytime goal scorer, David Mubama, even though he may not start at all, but like he's got to play. Stephen Smith. I'm sure he probably led with West Ham. I have to tell you, Mike, West Ham is going to challenge for the Premier League title.
Is that Stephen A. Smith or was that someone else?
It was more New York. And like,
was that your impression of that fella that pops up on Bet the House?
It might be, maybe.
It's a good impression.
Yeah.
You do look a little bit like him, but
yeah, well, I get that a lot, but never met him. Big fan though.
I still think we should get him on.
I think he's in jail right now. Like tax evasion.
Sounds
we might not get Bet the House this year.
Oh, crazy wacky bastard. But yeah, we'll see. I guess we'll give it a week and we'll see how we're feeling about West Ham then. Giants start their preseason this Friday night football. I only just realized, for some reason I always assumed it was on Sundays, but maybe it's the Jets game's on a Sunday, because I remember I went to the Jets game preseason last year and that was on a Sunday.
They usually do Thursdays, I feel like.
But yeah, so we've got Lions this Friday, Panthers next Friday, and then Jets on August 26th, which is a Sunday.
It's usually Thursday is the last game, because then they have
Saturday.
Saturday. Oh.
Look at that. It's just making all things weird. But big news, I guess. It's the only real big news, because we obviously covered the incomings, I think, before we took our little break.
Yeah. But, really, it's just seeming like, according to camp, Daniel's looking good. The offense is looking good. They had their first day of joint practice with the Lions today, and from what I read and the few videos that I did see, the offense was very up and down. The play calling seemed to be good, but the execution maybe wasn't there. It is also our first day against somebody else in pads, kind of, so maybe we'll chalk it up to that. And then our secondary is my biggest question mark about our team, because I think that Darnay Holmes is not very good. I don't really know what we're going to do at cornerback. We're going to have some rookies that are going to have to play a lot, I think, and that usually means there will be mistakes made. So that is something that I'm really looking forward to seeing in the Friday preseason opener because Trey Hawkins, I think he was a 6th round pick out of Old Dominion. He was supposed to be just a depth guy, and apparently he has been a absolute stud in camp. Just kind of, he's been a huge standout, and so I think he's going to probably get some looks, especially in the later stages of this game on Friday night. So kind of look for Trey Hawkins, Javarius Owens, and then obviously Deontay Banks, our first pick in the draft we took. So I think like we're going to have 3 guys in our secondary that are going to be getting some looks, and then you're going to have Darnay Holmes, who's been getting cooked. Xavier McKinney's even been getting beat a bunch. I convinced myself that Jalen Hyatt and Darren Waller were just really good in practice, like, because that was the hard part. Like, that Jalen Hyatt highlights were all over the place, and it'd be like, oh, cool, but he beat Deontay Banks. Okay, but we're just going to pretend that was because Jalen Hyatt's so sick that, like, Deontay Banks is just never going to get beat. But obviously that's happening. The Amon-Ra St. Brown for the Lions apparently was just catching everything. So, yeah, we're going to really need to see our secondary. And then I think Darian Beavers and Micah McFadden for that inside linebacker job. That's going to be another big kind of battle that I'm watching. I think that's Micah McFadden's job probably, but I'm really kind of excited to see a little bit of competition with it.
How do you think DJ is going to react to finally being on a big boy contract?
DJ is going to be an absolute fucking stud this year, and anybody that thinks he's not is fucking high, because he's MVP caliber. He's elite. They were asking about that the last time they asked the Giants quarterback if he was elite. It was Eli Manning, and they were like, we don't believe that he's elite, even though he said he was. And then Eli won a Super Bowl that year. So Daniel Jones is probably going to go win a Super Bowl this year. That's all I'm thinking about. Really just in camp, they're letting him air the ball out, man. And we've got speed finally. We have Paris Campbell. We got Jalen Hyatt. We got Slayton to go out there too. Like, we're like, the fact that like I'm on Giants Rush that I do on Mondays. We were kind of just talking about like how crazy it is, like how crowded the wide receiver group is right now, where it was like last year, Isaiah Hodgins week 9. We're like, who the fuck's that? That was the game we went to. We went to the Giants-Texans game, and that was his first game on the Giants. And we're like, who? Hodgins? Like, we had no idea who he was, and we had just signed him. And then he ended up being our best receiver that year. So now we got a full season with him. We have Jalen Hyatt, who I think like was supposed to be just kind of a building project this year, and he's looked like a fucking stud, catching everything. Just run him on a couple goes a game. See what he can do. Let's see what he can do. And Paris Campbell just all goes. Just run a couple all-go routes and just let him do it, man. I don't know. I really feel like if DJ can stay healthy, if Saquon can stay healthy, this team is going to be able to score points this year. And that's going to be the first time really we've had a Giants offense that can like just go off in a very long time. And that's kind of what that's kind of what I'm banking on right now. And I'm really worried about our defense. I know that when you look at like our margin of victory last year, teams like us that made the playoffs always tend to regress the following season, but fucking that's different. We're playing Dable ball, playing Kafka ball. We got Danny, we got Saquon, everything that like we're putting it together. Our offensive line is going to be good. We'll figure it out.
You know what's really scary to think, because it was such a long season last year in many ways, but I think this is only year 2 of Dable.
And we had nothing on our roster last year, with absolute just a heap of trash, no cap whatsoever. Like, they were in salary cap hell, and they managed to just like bring practice squad guys like Isaiah Hodgins in there or Colin Johnson, and just bringing guys that eventually became playmakers. And like, look, I mean, we got blown out by the fucking Eagles. I get that. We sucked in the division other than against Washington. I get that. But like, for a team that was in the first year under a new regime, under a new scheme, under all of this stuff that they had to learn, with a quarterback that we had a huge question mark about, like, what is he going to do? Is he coming back? Is our running back coming back? We had so many question marks. We're bringing both of those guys back. Daniel Jones is the first person ever to not have his 5th-year option picked up and then get a contract with that same team. He's the first person ever to do it. He beat the odds. We didn't expect to have him back this year.
That's fun facts.
Those are fun facts. Those are very true fun facts too. But he's like, this is setting everything up to like take that next step. I believe in Dable, and like, I know I believed in Judge too, and that went south. I get it. But just, it seems like people are buying in. It seems like, you know, like that we're signing Dex. We signed Andrew Thomas. Like, we're locking up the guys that matter. that are the staples of a team. And you don't do that unless you're ready to move forward. And like Joe Shane seems like the Saquon Barkley thing, I don't care that people were shitting all over the Giants for like, why would you give Daniel Jones the money and not Saquon? Because it's a running back market. And fucking Dave Gettleman would have given Saquon Barkley a fucking $200 million contract. And like, he would have been the highest paid player in the league. And we would have been like, okay, this is awesome. We'd have had 2 awesome years of the Saquon. And then whatever happened would have happened. And we would have been like, damn it. Now he's Ezekiel Elliott again. And we're going to resent him quietly. Like, they got him for the 1 year thing. They were like, here, you get a little bit more than the franchise tag. Sorry. Like, this is business. This is a business right now. And Shane didn't budge. And I loved that about that. Like, I love Saquon. I want Saquon to fucking thrive. Well, I wish we could have paid Saquon, but if we're going to pay a quarterback or a running back, I'm going to pay the quarterback.
Yeah. And I think we're going to see a very good year from Saquon because
contract.
It was obviously pretty clear because at that point, it got to the point where pretty much any team could have come in for him. But no one did. Because the time elapsed, right? With the negotiation.
Well, I mean, somebody could have made an offer. Somebody could have made an offer for it or given him a first-round pick. And, like, it's just...
And no one did. And so now he's on a 1-year deal.
But then you're seeing Eckler, you're seeing, like, the running backs had that Zoom meeting where they're like, we should be getting paid more. And I don't disagree, man. I don't disagree. But when you're looking at shelf life and when you're looking at, like... what gives you the biggest bang out of your buck? Like, I'm sorry, but like, if you have to fuck a position, it's the running back position. And I don't want to fuck the running back position. I wish like everybody could get paid money in the Premier League. We could just pay them all, but there's a salary cap and it doesn't work that way. And you want to win long time. You want to win long time. You don't want to win just right now or just get to the playoffs again right now. Like Saquon, we need Saquon. It's awesome that we got Saquon back. It's awesome that he signed and he's coming to camp. He's going to be a fucking stud if he's healthy. But, like, I don't know how you're going to pay him. I don't, like, no, since no one's paying running backs, why are we going to be the team that has to pay the running backs?
No. I mean, but hopefully he balls out because he's fighting for another contract because he either needs more next year or he needs another team to come in. So, I don't think we're going to have a miserable, sulking Saquon Barkley. I think we're going to have someone who's fighting for it. I think we're going to see the kind of running back equivalent of what we had at quarterback last year, where someone's betting on themselves and fighting for the money, which excites me. So yeah, hopefully he does. But yeah, what's the highest paid?
Nick Chubb, I believe, is right now. It's either Chubb or Kamara, I want to say, since Zeke is out.
Name. Christian McCaffrey, 16 million.
Oh, fuck. I didn't even think. Yeah, because he just got that deal. My bad.
But
then I think
so. Saquon's tied 6th highest paid running back, which, like you said, like how much more do you like? It's not like we're lowballing him. He's the 6th highest paid running back in the league. So yeah, like I say, it's unfortunate, but running backs don't earn that much money, unfortunately.
Right. It just and like he's paid more than he would be if he was on the franchise tag. He's paid slightly more than he would have been. So, which is the average of the top 5 running back salaries. So like he's paid a little bit more than that. I'm not saying it's right, but like the Giants, I just said we're in fucking cap hell when we got the team from Gettleman. We had that team from that last regime. Shane and Dable were in cap hell, and they massaged it around enough last year to where we were able to make it to the fucking playoffs with a team that had practice squad guys in starting roles. We were beat up with injuries. We were just trying to figuring out a scheme as the season went on, and we were able to make the playoffs. And now, like, the way to continue to build is to not get back in cap hell, and signing a running back long-term, that is a reason that you might end up in cap hell. So Shane being like, you know what if we just don't do that and don't get in cap hell and don't fuck up the future because we got to sign our left tackle. We got to sign one of the best defensive tackles in the league, top 3, if not top 1 defensive tackle in the league. We got to sign Dexter Lawrence. You know, we got to look ahead at what else we're going to do going forward. Your quarterback, your left tackle, and your best defensive tackle, like being the guys that you locked up long term, I'm pretty happy with that. Pretty happy.
You know who I'm most excited to see this year, though? After seeing what he was able to do at his previous team, and even though it's only practice, but seeing him linking up with Ben Jones.
Oh,
Darren Waller.
Okay, yeah. Because
I'm
he's
excited
not
for
used as a tight end. He's used as a receiver. We have Bellinger, which I think is going to be very, very interesting to watch. Maybe not in the preseason because I don't know how much they're going to both play. But Bellinger is a beast. He's a dog we saw can catch the ball. Like the dude basically got his eye gouged out and then like finished a game and then came back in the season with just a visor on and was like, fuck it, dude, I don't care. Bellinger is a stud. He can block like a motherfucker. We're going to have a lot of 2 tight end sets where Waller is a decoy, and I bet Bellinger is going to have some fucking red zone tutties where Jones just checks it down to him. Like, it's awesome to have the options because a lot of times, like, well, he's not a blocking tight end, so they're not going to be able to do that. We have the blocking tight end. We have Daniel Bellinger to be the blocking tight end, and then we can just basically use Waller as a receiver or an extra blocking tight end, put him on the same side, run Saquon that way. Like, there's so many possibilities because Waller's not a bad blocking tight end at all. He's just more of a receiving tight end than he is a blocking tight end, but we have the blocking guy right there. So theoretically, like we have two, yeah. And Bellinger he catches everything that goes his way. So like,
and you saw multiple times last year where when he gets the ball, even you caught
Kevin
up with
Boss,
me?
like if you
that's great, but I'm going to carry on running and just drag you along for an extra few yards.
I don't remember if you remember Kevin Boss because it might have been like the Super Bowl we won. He had the big run before we threw it to Burris, and then Steve Smith got it. But Kevin Boss just used to like lower his head and just he was like farm tough, like country strong, and like that's what Daniel Bellinger is. I know he's from San Diego State, but like just fucking he'll run through you. He doesn't care. He's gonna get through you, or he's gonna go over you, and he's most likely going through you. But he's our second tight end, and I think that like Darren Waller's the talk of the town right now, and he very deservedly so should be. If he can stay healthy, if Saquon can stay healthy, and if Daniel Jones can stay healthy, like this is going to be such a fucking fun offense to watch because Bellinger is just going to be sneaky. You're gonna be, oh shit, he's the 5th option on some of these plays, the 5th fucking option, and the Giants used to have maybe 2 options per play. It felt like,
yeah,
it was like Hodgins check down to Saquon. Shit, okay. Now it's like, do we go Hyatt? Do we go Slayton? Do we go Bellinger? Do we go Waller? Do we go Saquon over here? Like, I don't know. Did we just run out Shepard? Did Shepard make the team? I don't know what's going on. Is Cole Beasley going to be on the squad? We've got so many fucking options. Like the potential for this offense is the highest it's been in 10 years.
So that'd be a good stat to see at the end of this year is the percentage of snaps that Daniel Jones ended up running last year compared to how often he does it this year, because I bet it's gonna drop considerably.
Definitely, because he had to rely on his legs more so, but that makes him more dangerous.
Exactly, because he doesn't have to do it all the time. So when he does do it, he's gonna be.
And I mean, there's teams like the Eagles and the Cowboys when we played them, and that's what I hate. Like the biggest concern with the Giants. I know that the schedule is I think it's the 3rd or 4th toughest schedule in the league. But like our division, the fact that we on paper are the 3rd best team in our division, I don't think the gap between the Giants and the Cowboys is as far as it is between us and the Eagles. But I really feel like Dallas could have a weird year. I think this could be a weird Dallas Cowboys year. They could also be very good. I would not be surprised if they're very good, but I could also see them struggling. I just feel like they've had some issues in camp, and I don't know. I think we also match up better against them than we did last year. But last year they just fucking knew how to match up well against us, and they have a really good defense. And what teams would do is they would be like, all right, well, let's just make Daniel Jones run. We'll press on the receivers. They're not going to be able to get open, and then Daniel Jones has to either hand it off to Saquon or take it off himself. So all we got to do is kind of stack the box, stop the run, and then game over. The fact now that you got Jalen Hyatt or Darren Waller that's about to take the top off your fucking defense if you just blitz everybody, now you can't just sell out and try and tackle Daniel Jones every play or try and make sure you stop Saquon because you're going to have Jalen Hyatt take off for an 80-yard bomb. You're going to have Waller go out deep. You're going to have Slayton on a post. You're going to have Paris Campbell fucking going deep. Like you're going to have those threats that you didn't have. You're going to have Isaiah Hodgins, who I think was the 2nd or 3rd best with yak wise in the league last year. After catch,
and he only played like half a season, if that.
Yeah, and that might have been why statistically he was the best yak because like he had fewer games, so
you still
more so per game. But we'll take that. We'll take that stat. I just think that like you don't get to just completely sell out. And the Giants were a team that was one-dimensional when you needed to make them one-dimensional. If you were a really good defense last year, the good teams were able to make the Giants one-dimensional. And even that Lions game, they kind of did that to us too. I think that just having Daniel Jones not have to rely on his legs when shit gets bad, just being like, oh, let me throw it to this fucking giant tight end right here. One of the two giant tight ends. Just having the safety blankets where he used to only have one and now he has 12. That's a lot better. It's a lot better.
Love it.
The odds are
And
in
also,
his favor.
And the last thing I will say, when, like you said, like, if such and such stays healthy, like people will say, oh, hey, Darren Waller, oh, if he stays healthy, you can see, look back at Bridge, anyone at any time can unfortunately get injured. Shit can happen to any. So I don't believe in taking that too much into consideration.
I mean, Jones was injury prone. He hadn't played a full season until last season. And he did. And look at him. He went to the playoffs. Won a playoff game.
We technically did have Kenny Galladay last year. So.
Hey, we did forgive Kenny Galladay. He had that sick block. He had that sick block. Remember that? That was sick. And we said,
always forgiven. He is once a giant, always a giant.
Always a giant. We had the and he'll always have that catch week 17 against the Eagles. Fuck the Eagles. It was Gardner Cox, I think he caught it. Yeah, it was or Gardner Johnson, CJ Gardner Johnson, he caught it against. It was like, oh, I don't know. There's this one. We'll always have that block against Minnesota, Kenny Galladay. No one can take that away from you ever.
Week 17 game was one of my favorite. It sounds stupid, but one of my favorite losses to watch because it was like we played.
You didn't care that you lost.
It's like they're struggling to beat our no ones. This is great.
And then they just curb stomped us 2 weeks later. But that was a good fucking game where you're like, yeah, well, you're beating what? You beat our third stringers by a touchdown? Yeah, sick. With your starters because you had to win to get home field advantage. Okay, pussies. You beat fucking Davis Webb, who's retired now. Read that guy on his last game. But you feel real good about yourself. And then like they whipped our ass and it was like, okay, yeah.
But then what trophy did they get for that?
None. They did not get a trophy. People forget that. And why? Because what's his face that we got rid of had a hold, and then because Kadarius Toney also cut a touchdown. Well, but then also our corner.
Yeah, no, you're talking about yes.
Shit, I know.
Oh,
I know. It's not Dory because we still have a Dory. Bradbury, James Bradbury. James Bradbury. Yeah, he had the hold in the Super Bowl that cost them that first down. The Chiefs got that they could run the clock out. Kadarius Toney. You look back, he doesn't have the touchdown. Chiefs aren't winning that. I'm just saying the Giants still fucked the Eagles. Not directly, but indirectly. We made the trade that year to do that. And we also did not sign James Bradbury also. So really, had we re-signed James Bradbury, maybe the hold doesn't happen. Had we not traded Kadarius Toney, who knows what happens?
Does James Bradbury go into the New York Giants Ring of Honor? It's not for us to say, but
it's just him on the hold. It's just a picture of the hold is really what it is. Like, I mean, you were good for us for a couple of years. You weren't great, but that was great. That people won't forget that. And then Kenny Galladay also. Can we honorarily Kenny Galladay in the Claret and Big Blue Ring of Honor? We need to start our own Ring of Honor.
We do.
Behind you need to get like a little clothes hanger and just hang up like his jersey. Just hang up like a paper jersey. Just a banner. Just write Kenny Galladay, sick block versus Vikings in divisional round of playoffs or wild card round of playoffs, 2022.
Maybe we could do that. We'll text back and forth. Maybe we could do that next week. Do the first inductions.
I think Galladay has to be one just because we hated him, and then we're like, he's back. He's back though. And then we will say Rice would have honorarily been in there, but we're not. We would lower him from the rafters and take it down because fuck him. And then we would burn his banner. He's dead to us.
Just facts. It's just facts. Beautiful. Well, I think that's. I mean, I'm not going to do a prediction because it's a preseason game and
just secondary. Secondary needs to play well. I want to see some secondary, and let's get the starters one series, and let's just go touchdown on that first series, and then rest everybody. Let's not get anybody injured.
Let's go into this season opener against the Cowboys. I think because even like last season, when we didn't do very well in the division, but it almost didn't matter because I think with like 1 or 2 games to go. In theory, every team in the NFC East could have gone to the playoffs, and then Washington fuck it up because they're Washington. But
We were 1-4-1 in the division, though. You can't be 1-4-1 in your division
No.
and expect to do
And
it.
we have
We're going to have at least 500.
We have a tougher schedule this year, so we need to step it up in the division this year.
Got to get both against Washington. You got to split against the Cowboys. Must do's. You have to at least split against Washington. You have to split against Washington and Dallas. Ideally, you beat Washington once, and then ideally you also split with the Eagles. The Eagles are really good this year, but fuck the Eagles.
Yeah, if we can win 3 or 4, that'd be pretty sweet.
3-3 in the division, win the Super Bowl. Probably.
Yeah, but
beautiful.
Mark that. Write that down. All right, let's start wrapping things up. It's been a while to remember to close it. New episodes of other podcasts. Past the Gravy. New episode coming out tomorrow, I assume.
Yep, brand new episode, Past the Gravy. There was a boat fight this weekend that was absolutely electric. There was also like a baseball fight too. So we're just gonna talk about how fights are hotter than ever right now, and I kind of want to just walk through that boat fight again because it was I watched it so many times yesterday and today.
Because I could only see
something new each time.
I could only find like a 14, 15-second clip of like different clips.
Oh, buddy, I got you a link. I can with all the angles. I got you.
What I want to see is if you overdub it with maybe like you and Pat doing color commentary on the fight. That'd be pretty sick.
That would be sick. But yeah, we're talking some fights. We're gonna answer some questions, and maybe we can talk a little bit about preseason football again. Probably not too heavy on the football talk, but yeah, Past the Gravy, new episode coming out tomorrow. Wherever you listen to podcasts, you can watch it on our YouTube channel as well. And then if you watch Big Brother, I do another podcast called Past the Gravy Bro, and that comes out Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. My wife and my friend Allison, we're going to be holding things down on Wednesday nights from now on, but you can watch them live immediately after each episode of Big Brother. They go live on the Past the Gravy Bro YouTube channel. So Past the Gravy and Past the Gravy Bro, if you want to give those a follow. And then NY Giants Rush. You're already watching me talk Giants. Watch me talk more Giants. NY Giants Rush. They got a YouTube channel. I do all the days I do podcasts now. I think I did Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I will do Thursday this week.
And as we already previously discussed, technically, because you do a podcast version after fact, you technically do 5 podcasts a day. 5 podcasts a week for the Rob Ryan Show.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so it's like 9 podcasts.
Oh, do you know what? Fun fact. I was driving in my car the other day, and I was listening to, I can't remember the station, but it's like New York's like classic rock station. I can't remember what it was called, but it's part of the iHeart family. And every now and again they'll play a commercial promoting the iHeart app, and it's like one of the things says, "Oh, you can listen to all of your favorite shows," and it's got one, and then it's got Rod Ryanson, the Rob Ryan Show. I was like, "Oh my god, I know that."
Yeah, Rod Ryan Show checking in.
Yeah, it's like what? All the way
and it's like
Houston.
Elvis in the morning. We bitched to iHeart about that. Actually, we were like, "Can we add our name on there too?" And they're like, "Yeah, cut this."
Nice.
Yeah.
So it's like,
but I'm glad to know that. I'm glad, and I will tell Rod that tomorrow. That'll make him very happy. Yeah. That's
it's happened. It's happened
because we were pretty concerned. We were pretty sold that they were like, yeah, sure, we'll put it nationally, and there's they're just running that in Houston, so we'll shut up. I bet.
Yep.
But knowing
in the New York market, boom.
Knowing that New York City, it was on the actual radio or just on the app.
On the actual radio.
On the actual.
My car.
Okay. That's badass. That's badass.
So you're nationwide.
We made it to New York too.
If you get there, you can make it anywhere.
That's what I've been told.
A wise man once said. Waffle Box, new episode coming out tomorrow as my jingle jangles. Look at this. I don't know. I'm
sick bracelet.
I think this might be stuck by this now.
Dude. It's called fashion. Look it up.
There we go. High fashion. We talk about the war and the incredibly bizarre and dumb ways that countries are now trying to fight cigarette smoking. Spoiler alert, you should check it out because Hong Kong's attempt at trying to cut people down from smoking is hilarious. And then also we talk about a beer company in San Francisco that is making a new beverage out of recycled water. Where that recycled water is coming from, you won't want to drink this beer. So we are talking about that, plus Hidden Strike, a new movie from John Cena and Jackie Chan is our movie review. And yes, it is as bad as it sounds. So check that out. Sorry, carry on.
No, you go. I'll hold on to it until after. Finish your promo.
I was going to say, and then on Saturday, we've got a special spin-off, special episode on just exclusively on the YouTube channel. It's the Waffle Box Weekender, where me and Kush do our top 5 list of TV theme songs that you'd be willing to sing at karaoke night. Boom.
Ooh.
So that comes out on Saturday.
Gotta check that out.
And spoiler,
I'll check that out on the way home from the West Ham win.
But I fucking sing, so you can hear my beautiful voice.
Hell yeah. Can't miss. Going back to John Cena, you had mentioned, I had a very wholesome, funny John Cena moment yesterday. I had been lost in the boat fight videos. I was watching angle after angle. You pick up something new each time you'd watch the fight, and you're like, oh, look at this guy. Now there's 2 people over here. But as I was scrolling on Instagram, there was a John Cena ad, and I think it was like a Call of Duty ad. It was some war game ad where he's like, you must do this, blah, blah, blah. But it was just John Cena talking into the camera, and it was all like digital looking around him. And like, I was like, I wonder, like, this kind of looks campy. I wonder if people are shitting on the ad. And like, somebody's like, he's clearly reading the script. He's clearly reading a teleprompter right in front of him. And my favorite thing, because I was about to be like, you can't see John Cena though, right? Like, I was going to be like, who's reading from the teleprompter? And the first comment that I said was, who? Like, it was somebody responded to the guys like, he's clearly reading. Like, who's clearly reading? Why is it just a blank screen? It's just a blank screen. And like the people that didn't get the "you can't see me" John Cena joke were like, the fucking idiot on the screen. Like, who? There's no one on the screen. This is a blank screen. No one's talking. What do you see? And it was just like, and everybody was in on the fucking joke. And I was just like, this is fucking wholesome content right here. Because somebody was so confused that like people were like, you can't see that guy? You can't fucking see this guy in the fucking ad? And it's like, who? There's nobody on the ad, dude. What guy are you talking about? But it was just like, like every now and then it's like a callback that happened so long ago where like now there are a bunch of people that probably don't realize the John Cena can't see me thing. And I don't even really watch wrestling when he was in it. So like I've already just learned that from everybody else doing it. But it was just funny because it was probably some like old guy that was just like, what? What do you guys mean? It was a who's on first, what's on second kind of situation there.
My favorite John Cena moment was always because every now and again he'll come out with promote a new movie or something. He'll like return to WWE like once a year or something, and he made a surprise appearance. And Pat McAfee was on commentary. This is when he was doing the commentary, and he comes out, and Michael Cole, who's like the lead play-by-play guy, he's like, "Oh my God, it's John Cena!" And then it's like a little pause, and then you hear Pat McAfee going, "Where?"
But it's just like those little inside jokes when somebody drops it at like the perfect time, and it was just like a casual guy just like, this commercial sucks. This guy's bad, and they probably didn't even know that it was John Cena. So then somebody trying to explain the John Cena thing was just like, that's the beauty of the internet. When people get lost in it and the translation's just not there, somebody doesn't understand the sarcasm, they get mad about it, then something else happens, and it's just like, I love that. That's why we get online, guys. That's why it's so toxic, but so beautiful at the same time.
Indeed. Enrique Iglesias' Hero is the best karaoke song.
People do say that.
Someone does a great version of that, but unfortunately that didn't qualify because I don't believe that was ever a TV theme song. But there you go. So check that out.
Used it.
Yeah. So follow me at Owen Mike Fish. Follow him at Alex J Middleton. Follow Wafflebox at Wafflebox on Twitter. I'm very excited about that. Just at Wafflebox. No pod at the end. Just at Wafflebox. Yeah. And at Pass the Gravy Pod and Pass the Gravy Bro. Well, that was a nice. We're getting nice and warmed up again. Oh, next week's gonna be incredible. So yes, we'll be back each and every Tuesday, 6 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Central, right back at this space. If you are listening to the audio version on demand, hey, why not? If you've got nothing better, join us on a Tuesday live.
Join us
in live chat. It'll be lots of fun. But until next week, don't forget,
seahorses forever.
We'll see you next Tuesday.
let's go to Peyton. He's going to break down that touchdown. Can't hear shit. Never mind.
Bye. Have a beautiful time.